Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Touchline Talk. This time not at 2 o'clock, because I'm going out later today, so it has to be a little bit earlier than usual. This is just a one-time thing. I'm sure you guys can forgive me. How are we all doing today, though? We can see a pixelated knob in the background, says Spartacus, lovely stuff. The chat's messing up today. I don't know why it's done that. In today's episode, I don't really have anything specific planned. This will be the last stream of the I was gonna say the year, but it's not, is it? A bit like pre-Christmas, basically. The last stream of Christmas. There will be content going out over the festive period, but after this stream, I'm giving myself some time off until the 27th when we play Forest. So tomorrow there will be an Ask Nobbins extended cutout going out for members. There was a Gay Heat analysis member only video yesterday, by the way, in case you caught that. On Christmas Day, there will be an Ask Nobbins regular upload going out on the channel. And then on Boxing Day, there will be a Forest tactical preview going out. So plenty of content to keep you guys entertained, hopefully, over the festive period. And then I will be back live for the Forest game on the 27th around 12 o'clock. I think the kickoff is 12:30, so probably live around 12. But today, it's the last stream before Christmas. I don't really have anything set to discuss. So I think this is going to be quite a chilled out stream. Someone asked about the lighting. I can put that lighting on if you would like. There we go. I can do that if you prefer. There we go. So just it's a bit brighter in here. But how are we doing? For some reason, my chat feature isn't working, so I can't bring your comments up as I normally would. I can still see your comments, but I can't bring them up for some reason, which is a little bit frustrating, but there we go. A True Citizen says, did you see Carragher's team of the season? No. What was it? What was it? Let me know. Yash says, Nobbins. Hello, mate. Yeah, we can see Pixelated Knob in the background. Nick says, ahem. Okay. Hello, Ovo Chem. Getting a haircut at 3. So this is quite convenient. There you go, True Citizen. Excellent stuff. Evil Twin Alert. What? Hope you're doing well. Also, Razad. Hello, Noah. I look like a crypto advisor. I don't know what that means. I literally don't. It sounds like an insult. Crypto scammer bins. What's going on? The lighting looks like Netflix. Okay. Unforgivable. You put one City player in and you'll never guess who it is. Well, I'm going to guess Big Erling, obviously. Hello, 4P champions. Shall I have a look at Carragher's team of the season? I've not seen this. I'm guessing it's on Twitter, is it? How would I find it? Would I just type in Carragher, maybe? Jamie? What are you saying, Jamie? I'm going to go to his account. I'm going to assume it's there. My Monday Night Football team of the season so far. Okay. Is there going to be a still image of it? Okay, here we go. Okay, so he's got in his team. Looks like he's explaining himself as well, to be fair. Yeah, Big Erling isn't it? What a surprise, of course. Okay. 2 Crystal Palace players, which is interesting. I'm a bit surprised that Rodgers is in there over Doku, but I get it. He has scored a fair few goals. Semenyo, I guess, makes a lot of sense. I'm a little bit surprised there is no Doku, though. Gabriel makes sense. Calafiori, I think, does make sense. O'Reilly would have had a decent shout. Xhaka, yeah, that makes sense. Declan Rice probably makes sense. I don't think the team is, like, terrible. There are some questionable picks in there, but I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's, like, properly terrible. I think it's quite... I think a lot of those picks are pretty reasonable, and I would tend to agree with a fair few of them, so... which of those players, like, which do you guys think shouldn't be in there? He's also got Bruno Fernandes in there, who, you know, United are shit, but he's, like, their only good asset, I guess, so... It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I can't... It doesn't look like he put Shirky in there, which is an L. Don't even waste time at the 11. Tell me you got an agenda, but don't tell it out loud. Yeah, I don't think it is that bad, in fairness. I don't think it is that bad. O'Reilly should be there, perhaps. Yeah, so today, I don't really... As I say, I don't really have a set plan for today, so this is going to be quite a laid-back stream where we just have, like, a back-and-forth Q&A, and I'm sure topics will come up that we can perhaps discuss. I probably would have had Foden in there as well, true citizen, but I get it. You want some variety. I get it. I get why you would put Xhaka in there, but yeah, I do feel Foden deserves to be in there, but hey-ho, it's a thing. I guess there was, like, one little thing that I did want to touch on, and I don't know how long... It's not going to take that long, though, because it's just, like, a sort of throwaway thing to talk about, and it's actually reminded me because of Jamie Carragher's team of the season, and it sort of goes hand in hand with the whole City making errors in the transfer markets and that sort of thing. I do just want to talk about Cities generally, because, you know, the thumbnail says City are back, ? So I just do want to talk about that generally as well. But Morgan Rodgers is having a very good season, and he had quite a good season last year as well. And it just reminds me because he's in Carragher's team of the season. And he's having a lovely time. Unfortunately, though, it's now that very reductive thing of it cuts people throwing up pictures of Rodgers in the City Academy. And they're now playing the Palmer card of, oh, look at this, look at the error that City made, let's leave it, letting him go. And I feel like it's the same with every single player who performs even just semi-well or obviously well and beyond after they leave City's academy. So it happened with Palmer, obviously it happened with Lavia as well. And it's just very, very boring when you've got lots of City fans. In my opinion, it's very boring when you have lots of City fans who are saying, oh gosh, like, it was a mistake, we should have, like, kept him and all that sort of thing. And to that I say, you can't hoard talent. At the end, I mean, you technically can, but they're not going to stay here. Set Sancho as well, Kyle, exactly. Now, there's no doubt that Rodgers has turned into a very lovely player, and there's no doubt that Cole Palmer is a wonderful player as well. And there's no doubt that Lavia, when he's fit, is a lovely player, and there's no doubt that Sancho was a very lovely player at Dortmund. But if these people had it their way, then how big would our squad be? We already have a squad which is too big, realistically. I know we have lots of injuries in AFCON right now, so it doesn't look like that, but we are still at the upper limit of our squad. Like, when everyone is fully fit, players miss out, so we know that we're going to have to do some trimming. So if you throw in all these players, someone tell me, where are they going to get the minutes from, which is what they needed in order to become the players that they are now? with respect, so just on Morgan Rogers went on, it was sold to a championship club, I believe it was Middlesbrough, and I believe he said it himself. He was not good enough at that time. Progression and development is not linear. And Borough, exactly. So if Rodgers stayed here, what would he have done? He wasn't good enough to get anywhere near the squad, never mind to the starting 11, so he wouldn't have been able to develop into that player. So he has to go somewhere else, and he forged his own path, and he had a beautiful time there. So, and Rodgers was garbage at City, not my words, it's his. He said himself, hasn't he, that he knew he wasn't ready. I think we bought. I don't think we created him. Yeah, we did buy him from another academy, but he was still technically an academy player, so we did have him on our academy books. And they go, oh, look at how good he's playing right now. Oh, what we do to have him in our team. And yeah, last season, I agree. If you could just do a crane and pick him out and pop him in the side, there's not a problem there at all, because he would have improved City last season. But he's not, with respect, who is he starting over, like, this season? Do you want him starting over Doku? Do you want him starting over Shirky? Because those are the two positions that he would operate in. He would start out wide, then he'd probably play as one of the two attacking forwards, which would be either Shirky or Doku. Last season, okay, sure, he would have started. Where's he playing now, though? The answer is he isn't playing. I like Rodgers, he's a good player. I still don't think that he's, even now, is a player that would make City starting 11 better. Sure, he'd make the squad better, fine. But you can't even have him as a squad option at that level if he stays at City. And it's the same with Lavia as well. Let's say he stayed at City. Okay, and we sold him in the year that we won the Champions League. Right, okay. And where Rodri scored that goal in the Champions League final, he was one of our best players this season, that season. Okay. Someone tell me who he's starting over in that game, like even getting brief minutes over in that game, in that season, sorry. He's not playing over Rodri, obviously. He's not playing over Gundogan, obviously. And there's no other option there. So he's not getting any minutes. So he's not getting that season of development that he got at Southampton. And it's now a moot point because of how horrendously injured he always seems to be, which is very unfortunate. But even if he wanted to say he was absolutely fully fit, he needed to go and develop and be his own player. And it's like, and it's also the same with Palmer. And I appreciate I'm in the vast minority here. I get that, because lots of City fans still believe that it was an error to sell him. And to that I say, who would he have played over in the 22-23 season? He's not starting over Foden. And that year, of course, he was better than Alvarez, but Pep was favouring Alvarez over him anyway. So he wouldn't have played, he wouldn't have got the experience. The season after, people saying, oh, why did we get rid of Palmer? A number 10 ain't helping that midfield on any level. And it's now becoming even more of a moot point, because if you like Shirky, you can't have Shirky and Palmer coexist. And I believe we got Shirky for less than what we sold Palmer for. So even if you want to argue that the Palmer sale was a mistake short term, and I still don't agree it was, because I think he had to go, and I've spoken to Chelsea fans about this, and they agree as well, the ones I've spoken to anyway. He had to go and forge his own path and be his own man and be the main guy in a different environment at a different club in order to get to what he is right now and to realise his full potential, to be the main guy and to have all the creativity and attacks stem through him, which is basically what Pochettino did in his first season especially. That's how he was able to have such a wonderful season, in addition to him being a great player. That was never going to happen at City. Not even like Kevin De Bruyne got that treatment. If you want Shirky in the team, if you like Shirky as a player, and I like Shirky as a player, and I might be totally wrong on this, I believe that Shirky's got a higher ceiling than Palmer. It's impossible to predict ceiling accurately, really, but that's just a gut instinct. You can't have Palmer and Shirky in the same side. Why? Okay, well, let's take a look at our 4-3-3 right now. They both want to play in the exact same position off ball, because we don't play with like an attacking midfielder out of possession, so they both need to start at right wing, and then ideally they both need given access to the centre, which is exactly which would be the best utilisation of Palmer and is the best utilisation of Shirky. I don't think the two can coexist. And they both have very similar attributes as well. This isn't like a Foden-Palmer thing where they both could coexist, or a Foden-Shirky thing where they can both coexist because they're different enough as players. I don't think it makes much sense to have Palmer and Shirky in the same side because of the off-ball issues and because of the on-ball issues also. That was just like a little... I have mentioned that before, and I know I got attacked a lot on it on Twitter at the time, and I've still got some fans bringing that up. You'll notice that tweet of my reaction to Palmer going is not gone. It's still there. I haven't deleted that tweet because I still believe in it. I know that it might not be the most popular thing, but I just don't accept that it was an error short term, and I certainly don't accept that it's an error now, medium to long term, given how wonderful Shirky is and how we are all in love with him. So what tweet was it? Oh, it was just like a reaction to Palmer leaving, basically. I was just saying that, unfortunately, he's not going to start consistently enough to live up to his full potential here. So he's got to go. And also, that was the time when I thought Doku was going to be a right winger anyway. It's one of those. In an ideal world, he would have somehow worked, because I like the idea of having academy players here, of course. But I love Shirky, and I think that he's going to be a better player than him ultimately. That remains to be seen, but I don't accept that it was an error, certainly medium term, to sign Shirky for less than the fee we got for Palmer, quite frankly. If Palmer completely eclipses Shirky and single-handedly drags Chelsea to trophies that are relevant and matter, then fair play, of course. But until that happens, I'm not especially nostalgic about, or what's the term? What's the term we have like a it's like nostalgia, but more so on the negative. I don't know what term I'm after here. The bitterness of it. I'm sure there's an actual term there. Let me know, guys. But you see what I mean? That was just like a little thing that I wanted to touch on because I saw the Rodgers thing, and they had like a picture of Rodgers and Palmer in the academy, and that seems to rear its head whenever they perform well. And it's like, okay, it's lovely that they are performing well, but at the same time, look at all the context and all of that stuff. That was just like a little thing. That was the only thing I really had sort of planned in my head to talk about. But let's, do we have like anything else we would like to say today? Score prediction for the game against Forest. I say it in my preview. I'm not gonna say it here. Nunes in the midfield, says Alex, alongside Gonzalez. If we sign a proper right back, unsure about that. Unsure if he'd be starting in midfield, but stranger things have happened. Shirky clears the mall, says True Citizen. Again, apologies, I can't put your comments on the screen. For some reason, my chat widget is not working. Why didn't South Access? Why didn't we keep Company, Maresca, and Arteta? So that's a really good point as well. Actually, yeah, you can even throw in the managerial thing. You can't keep like if McAtee goes on to play well, and if Liam Delap goes on to play well, and if that Carlos Borges goes on to play well, and if we get rid of Bob, and if he goes on to play well, you can't keep everyone from your academy. They can't all make it at City. They have to. Some will make it, but some of them have to be sold because they're not going to get the game time to become and realise their full potential. This is the dual-edged sword nature of having, I would say, maybe like the second best academy in the world, behind like Barcelona, obviously. It's certainly the best in England, though, I would contend. I don't think there's any other academy which is generating the sales that we are in England and is also getting players into the first team and just the squad generally as well. It's certainly up there. If you have the best academy or one of the best academies in the world, some players won't be able to make it. Like, Nico Gonzalez was a Barcelona academy player, but he was not good enough at the time to be starting consistently for Barcelona. And maybe they are upset that he's now not a Barcelona player, but he was never going to make it outright at Barcelona. It wasn't going to happen. So yeah. Oh, and there you go, Punch a Bicycle. People never say this when Barca produce amazing players all over the world, when City produce all kinds of talent all over the world. It's stupid for us to let them go. Exactly. If Liam Delap turns into a great striker, they'll go, oh, what a mistake from City. Tell me the minutes he's getting in front of Big Erling. It's not going to happen, is it? You're a fraud, Spartacus. Shout out from Miami, says Brixton, love that from you. Brewy says, I drink soda, I eat pizza. That's nice. I'm drinking, unfortunately, they didn't have my Pepsi Max no caffeine at the shop, so I've got a Coke Zero no caffeine, which is nowhere near as good. It's still fine. And I'm eating a pizza tonight. Just a Asda extra special one. I'm going to go out with my little friends. So we always catch up over Christmas. He did, Musty, and and that shouldn't be taken away. Like, he did win us the Super Cup, and he did score in the Community Shield as well, which is lovely. Of course it is, and that shouldn't be taken away from him. Ironman says, I'd rather have Shirky over Palmer. That's reasonable. Palmer's amazing, but he's also a United fan. That's a good point, Brixton, yeah. You can't have Foden, Palmer, Shirky in the same 11. And I'd trim it even further, Kenboy. I just don't think you can have Palmer, Shirky in the same 11, because they're both number 10s who you probably start on the right. Palmer would have never got the confidence playing against low blocks week in, week out, and needed the space and less pressure. Still needed a top team, but without the expectation. Yeah, I think that it was perfect. It was great for him. He gets to be the main man at another club and be his own player. And we get what was at the time a very good transfer fee for a player who hadn't scored like a league goal and all that stuff, and is like pure profit on the books. And we use that money. I know that's not how it works, but one could argue we used that money to bring in Shirky. Everyone's a winner. It's not a problem at all. Yeah, Palmer's also a rack. Crazy. Shirky is kind of like from the academy. He fits the mould of baller, doesn't he? Make sure to leave a like on the video, guys, because it's free and it helps support the channel. Perhaps just regrets the word I'm after, maybe. I feel like that was another word which was like nostalgia, but with an extra twinge of sadness. But maybe I'm just making up words now. Nunes is already 3 kilograms up. That's crazy, mate. When do we start saying we need another right back instead of saying we need an actual right back? Says Musty. Yeah, they're both the same. There's no doubt we certainly do need a right back, and he isn't an actual right back at the end of the day. He's still a midfielder, but I take your point that his performances have been very, very lovely, and I did an analysis video on him, didn't I? Nobbs talked to Pep, why is he playing Foden on the wing? It's because Doku's out, so someone's got to play there, and right now that's Foden, unfortunately. I'm sure, hopefully when Doku comes back, Foden will get back into his rightful position in midfield. Reinders, though, is surely loving life, because he's actually getting some game time now. Later on. Best we can do with the Palmer situation is to not sell academy lads to Big Six Premier League teams, perhaps. Sarthak, yes. I've observed Reed. He could be a good player. Sharks, definitely. Only Cobham is close to City's academy, says True Citizen. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, and even then, like, if you look at the players that we've sold / are integrated into the side, there's not many. Of the top clubs, how many have academy players that start for them? Arsenal have Saka. We this season have 2 in O'Reilly and Foden. I mean, like, you say, like, what's your best team from this season? 2 of them. Chelsea, they have Chalobah, and I feel like there's another. Oh, sorry, I meant in England. Sorry, yeah, Barca, absolutely. Chalobah, and I feel like there's a couple that I'm missing there. I might be wrong though. Colwell, is that? Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. In fairness, yes. And James, okay, yes. So Chelsea do beat us in fairness, but they're lower down the table. They're 10 points off us. Yeah, it's easy. And okay, this is gonna be a tangent stream. Call me a hater if you want. You can call me a hater if you want. I think that the Manchester United, we have had an academy player in the squad since 1812 or whatever. That's an exaggeration, obviously, but you know what I mean. We've had an academy player in the squad for 1,000,000 years. I think that might be the most overrated, arbitrary record known to man. Because with respect, it's not especially impressive to shove an academy player on the bench. Now, it would be impressive if it were an academy player sees the pitch every single game for however many years. Or is it a start is a bit too far, but let's say one of them is on the pitch at some point, even if it's only like 5 minutes. Now, that would be properly impressive. However, it's very obvious now. Like, it happened under Solskjaer, and I feel like it's happened under Amorim as well. As certainly I recall this under Solskjaer. When, like, because the main academy players under him, I believe, would have been, like, Rashford, obviously, and was Lingard there? Pogba? I can't remember the timeline. But they had, like, one or two academy players who were properly involved in the main squad, either as a starter or on the bench. It was only like two or so. I think Rashford was the only guaranteed starter at the time. I might be misremembering there, though. And there was a period where they were, like, both injured. I was thinking, well, what are they going to do for, like, the bench? Because these players aren't available. They're going to want to keep the records. And they just shoved some random Donny on the bench who was never going to see a minute of football. And they just happened to shove him on, like, instead of a senior player. Call me a contrarian and a hater if you'd like. I don't think that record is particularly impressive. I get it. It's something that may have started out as being impressive because, of course, they had, like, the class of 92 and they had, like, Scholes and Giggs, and before then they had all these lovely academy players, blah, 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 blah. But who even is the academy player that starts for them nowadays? Because it's not Kobbie Mainoo. He doesn't start for them anymore. I feel like it's no one anymore that actually starts in their academy. Let me know if I'm wrong there, but who cares if you got someone on the bench? With respect, anyone can shove a randomer on the bench. That was just a little tangent gripe that I had. Again, call me a hater. Call me a hater there, but it's such a weird, arbitrary record to cling on to. Because surely the whole point of that record is it illustrates how... Oh, heaven, in fairness, yeah. It surely illustrates how... Or should illustrate... how much the academy means to the club, right? But if you just have to shove them on the bench, then that defeats the point, doesn't it? Surely. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe it's just a fun little record, but I don't know. It was impressive when they had good academy players and when they were winning stuff. I don't know how impressive it is when they just happen to be shoving on players on the bench, not actually featuring them a lot, and finishing quite low in the table. Oh, Shalba not from their academy, oh. Doesn't work with their players, oh my. Who has the best academy in England past 10 years based on the stars they've produced? Stars? Well, 10 years. So United have produced Rashford. We've made Foden. So we win that immediately. Chelsea, says Matthias. Yeah, well, they've made Reece James. And he's like a star player, isn't he? But, I mean, I guess we've produced Palmer, technically. And he's a star player. So I guess that's 2 for us. We can't yet say O'Reilly and Lewis are star players yet, of course. Likewise with Bob. It probably is City then. If we're saying star players, it probably is us. When was Sancho sold? He was a star for a little bit of time. So, like a couple of seasons. Not impressive. Fuck Nostalgia FC, yeah. If City beat Forest and Sunderland, then they are back, says Abdenor. I hope so. Thing too is City have had and produced some class players from our academy, but they can't all make it. The level of the squad over the years under Pep is so high, you have to take your chance. Definitely. And that's why it's even more impressive when an academy player makes it into a club that is already brilliant. So this isn't me insulting players like Rashford or Saka or, I don't know, whoever. With respect, they were not coming into a side that was winning things and was particularly good and especially good. Who was Rashford's key competition when he was breaking into the side? Who was Saka's key competition when he was breaking into the side? Like, overall, the squad wasn't especially good. Who is Rico Lewis's competition? Who is O'Reilly's competition? Who is Phil Foden's competition by comparison in a side that's actually winning stuff? It's easy to integrate players if you're not that good, because where's the jeopardy? There isn't any. Whereas if you're always trying to win titles every single season, it's very hard to try to naturally integrate players. Very tricky to do that. City were able to do that with Foden, for example, and he was competing with David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling, Bernardo Silva, world-class and elite players, now legends of the club. Mahrez as well, fantastic players for the club. I just think that's particularly impressive for our players to do that. Again, call me a hater. But that's what I think, yeah? Big up to Elise. Frimpong was us as well. He said stars, actually. I'm being cheeky. Respect Pepe, yeah, fairs. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, respect Nelson and Pepe. No academy player bar Foden was getting the team for the past 6 or 7 years, exactly. And that goes to show how good he is as well, in fairness. Like, how are you breaking into a side that's got those stars in it? I don't get it. You're on a trip today. Are you late? We've been live for around 30 minutes. Yeah, Brahim Diaz now. Yes, scored against us infamously. Little bastard. You haven't missed much though. We're just having a general chit chat about whatever we want to talk about. I kick things off by having a rant about Rodgers and Palmer and Lavia. We're now talking about academies, but we can talk about whatever we so desire. This is the last stream of Christmas. Hey, if anyone's got any Christmas questions, another hour, absolutely, matey, absolutely, yes. Let's get the likes up though. Let's get to 115. You guys know the drill. Oh, Brandon Barker, man. I really thought he was going to make it. I really thought that he was. I was so excited at the prospect of him, and it just never happened. What a shame. I don't know what happened to him. I think like his career just sort of petered out. Do I see Trafford leaving next summer? Yes, I do, Nico. I'd be amazed if he were here next year, because if he's got ambitions to be England's number one, if he's got ambitions to be a number one anywhere, then it's not happening here, unfortunately for him. Thoughts on keeping / removing Anderson in FPL? What rank am I? IDK. I think I still have Frimpong in my team, to be honest, mate. I've had Hall and Captain and Foden in my team since like week 1. I've had Frimpong there as well. I've not been changing my team. Any plans for Christmas? Yes. Sorry, I'm going to do a thing. I muted so you didn't have to hear that. Yes, Christmas is the same plan every year. I'm going to go to my... Actually, no, it's a slightly different plan, because normally what happens is I go to my parents on Christmas Eve, and we have all our Christmas Eve traditions. So we watch the film Elf with lunch. We watch Polar Express with tea. We always have hot chocolate, the hot chocolate scene. And then I stay over, and then I have the whole Christmas day with them, and then I'll see Mrs. Nobbins later in the day. But this time, I'm still having Christmas Eve spent at my fam, because that's still a tradition that we've done for many a year. But then I'm coming back to my house in the evening. So Christmas morning, Mrs. Nobbins and I are spending together. Some members of her family coming round for presents, and then we're both going to my parents' house at around 2 o'clock, where we're going to have presents and then have a lovely Christmas lunch. So it's going to be a beautiful time, because Mrs. Nobbins has never had a Christmas dinner with my parents yet, but it's always beautiful and delicious. And we're having a different tradition. It might be a new tradition, this. M&S. Yes, my parents sometimes go to M&S. They are selling like garlic lobster and prawns. So we're having that for our evening meal on Christmas Eve. So that's potentially going to be a new tradition. I'm well looking forward to that. Lobster's one of my favourite things. I rarely have it because it's quite expensive, obviously. I haven't had it in months, but I'm very excited for that. What are your guys' Christmas traditions? So if you celebrate it, if you don't celebrate it, then wait, you going to do anything nice anyway? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Christmas is lovely. It's magical. Even if you don't celebrate it, it's just a very fun time. It's just good vibes had by all. Christmas haircut. Is it? Yes, exactly. Chapter. I got it cut yesterday. What's my favourite Scrooge performance? Muppet Christmas Carol. Come on. Come on. There goes Mr. Wanker. There goes Mr. Cunt. That's such a good film. Mr. Fraud himself, how are you? Lucky Tries Trading, your question made it into the Ask Nobbins video to be released on Christmas Day, so big up to you. Do I think Nico has the attributes to become a box-to-box midfielder? Definitely do. I think that's what he is, ultimately. Is Foden starting in the World Cup? He better bloody not, or I'm going to be upset. He better not. I don't think England deserve any of our players, but let's be honest, O'Reilly, there's no one else they can have, but there's an argument for Foden to not play, so he better not play, because I don't think England fans deserve him. I would say, though, if you want me to be unbiased for a second, and that might sound quite farcical, but if you want me to be unbiased, then yes, Foden should start for what is best for England, but I'm biased and I don't want him to start because I don't feel that England fans deserve him. But if you want the best form of England, then yeah, you should be starting Foden, but I don't care. I'm well in the club camp nowadays. I'm still going to be I'm still an England fan, and I want us to do well at the Cups, obviously, but I don't give a shit anymore, really. As for that, I used to be buzzing like when our players got picked and all that sort of stuff, but I probably don't even like care anymore. The last tournament changed me. It changed me. Social media's done that. It's done that a lot. Social media also changed my view on Arsenal. I thought Arsenal were okay. I used to think they were fine as a club, and I'm sure they still are. But oh my words, the Twitter has changed my mind. Unfortunately, that's the negative aspect of social media. Will I spend it with Nana Nobbins? So my parents are seeing. So she can't really get out of the house. It's without like assistance. It's very tricky for her. So it would be probably too overwhelming. She gets very tired very quickly nowadays. So it would be too overwhelming for her to have everyone visit her all at once or everyone at different parts in the day. So we're going to stagger it, basically. So my parents are seeing her on Christmas morning, going to like give her a lunch and whatnot. And then my uncle is seeing her Christmas evening. And then my other uncle, my sister is seeing her Boxing Day. And then I think my other uncle is seeing her on the 27th. And then Mrs. Nobbins and I are seeing her on the 28th, just so it's like more staggered, and so she can have like lots of visitors over the period. Oh no, that's what's happening on the 27th. She's going to Nottingham Forest. She's going to the Forest game on the 27th, so she's a busy girl. You should put your Christmas dinner in the printer. Yeah, cauliflower is traditional. Falling behind on your advent calendar, Nunez. Better pattern up, mate. Get some Christmas pics, says Ken Boy. We always take pictures, absolutely. What, a Toby Carvery from Nintendo. Nice. Yeah, Lobster on Christmas Eve game's gone. I'm going back home tomorrow to see my parents after a year. That's beautiful. You're leaving for Dubai. Excellent stuff. 84 Scrooge is underrated. Never seen it, Nico. Never seen it. How do you think Pep Lind has improved our pressing structure? I'm not a big fan of our pressing structure, to be honest, Dennis. I'm not going to lie. Is Roger still on this planet? Yeah, he's chilling. He'll be here in the new year, don't worry. Who should England's midfield 3 be? You need to, well, I think that you have to have, if it's the best one, again, if you want me to be unbiased, I think you should have Foden in there. You should also be playing Declan Rice in there. And I'd probably say that you pick between one of Wharton or Anderson, I would say. Maybe. Do you do that? Perhaps. Because you have to have Rice in there, obviously. I think that, yeah. Rice, Wharton, Foden is probably what I think the most balanced midfield 3 would be, in all honesty. And that's me trying to be as unbiased as possible. You'll notice that there's no room for Bellingham. I don't think that he should be starting for England personally, but I get that's not going to happen. That's my unbiased take there. if you want my bias take, it should be Rice, Bellingham, Palmer. Yeah? Just do that. Easy mode. Easy mode. And then don't even take Foden. Have him stay at home. Yeah? Hope Norway wins the Punch a Bicycle. I'll be very happy if Norway do well, obviously. Christmas markets are busy in York, which is where I live. Probably I head down to the market, get some gifts for the family. Beautiful stuff. Oh yeah, hopefully everyone's done their Christmas shopping. Mine's all sorted. I just need to write my cards, but then I'm done. Away to a hotel with a spa on Christmas Eve. That's really nice, Sarah. Excellent stuff. I normally don't tend to do anything on... I think the only time I've ever done something on Christmas was when I was much younger, and I think we went to Disneyland, Paris, for Christmas. I'm pretty sure that was when my mum and dad were still together. That was a very long time ago. I distinctly remember getting a Furby. Pretty sure I got a Furby. Can't really remember too much though about that. I remember being very excited at being at Disney, but pretty sure I got a Furby. Can't really remember. I was quite young, I think. Just becoming an Algerian national team fan, brilliant. Nana Nobbs is more dedicated than me, absolutely. Nana moving like Don Coloni. Oh gosh. Chelsea to hijack Semenyo, says Calico. I don't think it would make much sense for him to go to Chelsea. To be honest. Think what it's doing to the mechanism, exactly. Spending it with your grandmother, that's very lovely. I think the best England 11 has Rodgers in it. No, I don't, to be honest with you. Do I not want England to win? I do want England to win, but not if it means my City players have to be sacrificed for it or anything like that. No, I think that some fans have to be taught a lesson and learn the hard way, in all honesty. And I don't want my players to be involved. Assuming you became a professional footballer, what position would you like to play and under what team? Make me a left back. Make me a left back so I stay out of the way. Yeah, just like in pro clubs. Put me a left back so I'm not in the way. Yeah, big up Furbies. I don't know. I'm sure it was the thing back in the day. Furbies were quite popular. I don't know. How are we today? Feeling in the Christmas spirit? Absolutely, Josh. Absolutely, I am. I'm very much a pro Christmas guy. It's my favorite time of the year. I think it's very magical. It's like where you feel like a child again. Certainly in my house anyway. It's just very beautiful. I'm a big fan of Christmas. I'm not a Scrooge at all. I love it. I love it. Disneyland is a tourist trap these days. Yeah, I've seen lots of videos on it saying how it's got really badly overpriced and all that stuff, which is a shame because I've been to Disney a couple of times and it was a lot of fun, but like the last time we went, I mean, I get it, this is an issue with it being so popular. When we went it was when we went with Mrs. Nobbins' family, and very generously, Mrs. Nobbins' grandparents, they were like celebrating a big milestone in their anniversary or something, so they paid for everyone to like go, and it was very beautiful of them to do that, obviously. That was the treble year, and I remember watching the Real Madrid game, first leg, with a Real Madrid fan who was from Guyana, who was cheating on his girlfriend, which was a very odd situation. And then I remember trying to find the Inter versus AC Milan game, but no one was showing it. So I had to call up reception because there was no internet signal. I had to call up reception and say, hello, can you please find out a football result for me? It was very weird, and they called me back like 10 minutes later. I was like, oh yes, it was like 1-0 to Inter. I was like, get in, because I was more worried about AC Milan, I think, at that time. Why was I talking about that? Why was I talking about that trip? Oh, Disneyland, yeah. And we went to Disneyland Disney in Florida, and Mrs. Dobbins' grandmother Nana needs a wheelchair. She can walk, but she needs a wheelchair. So we got to the front of the line and everything. So we didn't really have to deal with queues. But goodness me, if we had to deal with it, we wouldn't have gotten anything. It was crazy. I do love... This is a vibes out stream, yeah? And if you guys didn't like the tangents, you wouldn't be watching me. Tangents can be fun. Yeah, the last tournament did scar me. Absolutely it did. Yeah, just... Oh, gosh. Absolutely, Spartacus. Merry Christmas to you, low-fat Moffat. You moved to Edinburgh. The Christmas markets are so expensive in a big city, I imagine. So, yeah. Where do you think Semenyo ends up? I don't know the full ins and outs of it, but it seems to me that he's not actually being linked heavily with Liverpool or Arsenal, which does surprise me because instinctively it feels like they would make use of him better than anyone else. I'd be staggered if he went to United because it's United. I think he probably does end up with us. That would be my prediction, based on the available options. If Liverpool aren't involved, and if Arsenal aren't involved, and United are shit, I don't get why he'd pick United over City. Unless depends what the ambition is. If the ambition is, I want to start week in, week out, you don't come to City, in fairness. And you do go to another club. So it does depend on motivation. As a left back, I got to invert, yeah, Fairs. How many FM streams are we getting this week? Shut up, mate. Just finished wrapping presses. Excellent work, CJ. Yeah, I am Kolarov, in fairness. Nobbins left back versus Shirky. We will be there. Yeah, big up to Funkland. That's one of my favourite videos. How much do you know about queuing? Boom. 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 Such a good video. Go watch that. It's very, very interesting. The Funkland, I think it's the Fast Pass system, I think it's called. Go watch that. That's a great video essay. I watch that video about 4 times a year. It's very good to have it in the background. Exactly, Hydro. Yeah, definitely. I love being with my family. Yeah, the queues were mental. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, that guy from Guyana, because it was half time, and he was like taking the mickey out of me because the Real Madrid were winning at half time, I think, and we were walking to, I think, like get some food or something. And he was like, oh yeah, so, and I was like making small talk with him. I was like, oh, you know, are you like here with your family or whatever? Like, are your friends or a partner? I was like, oh no, I'm here on my own. I was like, oh, okay. He said, yeah, I'm here to meet honeys, I think is the term he used. But I recall when we were talking in the match, he said, oh yeah, I'm my girlfriend's, blah, blah, blah. And I went, I thought you said you had a girlfriend. And I went, oh yeah, I do. But you're going to be trying to meet honeys, to use your term. Oh yeah. I think he said what she doesn't know can't hurt her. I was like, well, you're a horrible person. Okay, now I really want us to shit on you. So you bet when Kevin De Bruyne equalised, you better believe I got in his face. Marmish has every finish in him. Yeah, he scored a really good goal for AFCON. Didn't watch the game, but I saw the goal. Really nice movement and really nice finish. This Semenyo transfer stinks from the Sanchez situation where he goes to the clubs to offer the highest wages. If it does, the thing with Semenyo is I'm not strong on it either way. If we bring him in, lovely. He improves the squad. Not a problem. Happy with that. If we don't bring him in, I'm not going to really be that fussed, in all honesty. That's where I am at with it. If we bring him in, lovely. If we don't bring him in, okay. This isn't like a Declan Rice situation where I'm like, oh my god, yes, please bring him in, versus, oh my god, we're not going to get him, now I'm upset. I don't really care. I was not... was I big on Alexis Sanchez? Initially, I was, because that was a time when it was like he and Aguero were like the 2 best players in the Premier League. And he was my favourite non-City player at the time, Sanchez. And I think it made sense because I know we had Sane and Sterling, but Sterling was mainly playing on the right. We didn't really have, outside of Sterling going to the left, we didn't really have an option on the left. So I did like the idea of him playing left wing. I was like, yes, get him, brilliant. And then the whole thing came out of, oh, his agent saying, well, I want more money or I'm going to United. And then I was like, forget it. And I remember watching, because I used to watch a lot of United content back then, just because it was interesting to keep an eye on rivals. And I remember watching loads of, I can't remember what the channel is called. I think it's something to do with Devils. I think that's what the channel is called. And I remember strongly disagreeing with them at the time about the Sanchez signing, because United didn't need Sanchez. I can't remember exactly what the landscape was at the time, but they had loads of left-wing options. I can't remember. But they had loads of left-wing options, and they had Rashford there, I'm pretty sure, at the time. And they needed a right-winger, if anything. Sanchez isn't a right-winger. And I remember the argument was, oh, if there's a world-class player available, you sign him regardless of the squad. And even then, I was like, I was thinking of squad balance, and I was like, well, no, you don't need a world-class player in that position, so you're signing him just for the sake of signing him. That's a very weird transfer policy, and it just echoed what was so wrong about that Woodward era of United, where it was just sign the names. Are they going to fit into the side? Irrelevant. Yeah, must they? That you know my thoughts on that. So I think that's a bad way to look at signings. Oh, elite player happens to be available, definitely bring him in. Well, is he actually going to complement your squad, first of all? Do you need a left winger? And they didn't need a left winger, and what a surprise that the signing failed. It just, I mean, didn't help the United, just a shit show anyway, but they didn't need Sanchez, and he shot himself in the foot. And because he clearly didn't want to go to United. He wanted to go to City. His agent was just being a twat and trying to milk some money out of City. And I loved what we did. We went, well, nah. I remember there was like a meeting. It was like being reported on by all the City journalists at the time. There was like a big meeting with like Guardiola and all the the people in the upper echelons of the leadership group for an evening, and they all decided that we shouldn't do this. This isn't right. We can't be extorted here. So I think that's right, Musty. He realised he made an error. His agent shafted him, unfortunately. His agent shafted him. And he now has to, well, he has lived with that, and his career was never the same as a consequence. His own fault. He was a prick. Yeah, he was, yeah. He was. And he was kept, because I know that Vinicius scored that day, but Walker had him. Let's be honest. I kept like mugging him off. I kept like to like proper applause whenever Walker did something. Oh gosh. When Anderson more than anyone else, says Ken Boy. I think of all the players we're linked with, that's the one who would be the biggest game changer for sure. I think that's right, Spartacus. Yeah. Unikitty, shut up with Rodrigo. I swear down. City don't need him, but won't mind if he comes. I think that's where I'm at with it. I don't think it's an essential. I wouldn't be upset if he doesn't come either. But I'd be happy if he stayed as well. Full-time Devils. Maybe that was what the channel was called. It definitely had a devil in it. People are still saying Rodrigo will come and Savio leaves. My God, it's about to be 2026. Yeah, let's leave that shit in the past. He was on a lot of money. Yeah, exactly. He did score a great goal, didn't he, Sam? Never choose name over profile. 100%. They've got to match this. They've got to match the team, haven't they? They've got to match the team. Another reason why I didn't like the Rodrigo names. But he's a name. He'll sell shirts. I don't give a fuck about selling shirts. Is he going to fit well in the squad? I don't think he is. So no, I don't want him. I don't care how good the player is. I don't want Mbappe at City, and it's because I just don't think that he and Haaland would play especially well together. I might be wrong on that. I just don't think that they would coexist that well. Some reports of Marmoush to Spurs. Hate it if it's true. With respect, Marmoush is surely not going to downgrade that much. You know what, Large Slime, I take it back. Yeah. I take it back. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, Musty. Was that an Mbappe who had less of an ego, though? I think it may have been. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I don't think so. Were the CR7 links true? They were true. They were definitely true. Which is crazy. Like, Rio Ferdinand had to have he had to have like a conversation with him to talk him out of it. So it was going to happen. And that was another error that United made, by the way. That probably would have been quite a good signing for City at the time, because we did need a striker. It was a terrible move for United, though. Okay, it's feel-good factor. It was so funny, the mental gymnastics, Ferguson called as well, yeah. The mental gymnastics that United fans were doing at the time to try to justify it. Oh, but the shirt sales alone have paid for the signing. Chat. Big up to, I learned this from I learned this either from a TIFO podcast or I learned it from an Athletic article. Maybe both, years ago when it happened. If a club sells a shirt for £100 with Ronaldo's name on the back, a big club is only making about £7 of profit from that shirt sale. The main beneficiaries of the shirt sales would be Adidas or Nike or Umbro, Puma, whoever it may be. The main revenue that a club gets is from the initial brands deal of, £500 million over 10 years, whatever it may be. But people are trying to quantify shirt sales as this equals the signings paid for itself. No, it bloody hasn't. That is not how it works. You would have to sell billions of shirts in order for that to make any sense. You would have to sell shirts. You would have to make sales that have never happened before. It's insane. I completely forgot we were literally a day away from signing Ronaldo. It was so weird. I think that may have been the day where I'm pretty sure we were doing a charity stream at the time. I'm sure. I think I was playing Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games on Wii at the time. And like the news came through that, oh my god, it's fallen through, because we had loads of United fans in the chat at the time. Like the deal for City's fallen through, is coming to United. I was like, what is going on here? It was very odd. I was very interested in the Ronaldo signing. I was very interested. I was like, okay, I can see it. I sort of get it. It's weird, but I do sort of get it. United have made so many weird signings. It's funny, yeah. How big were you on Messi joining City? Yeah, massive, of course. He actually did want to join as well. United blocked it. Barca blocked it, didn't they? It would have been a bad look, but the fact that they wasted however much money and resources on that is insane. Just to win a moral victory is bizarre. Pythagoras kit, I reckon we lost money. That's fairs, Large Slime, that's fairs. Peppa Pig World, that's unreal. Semenyo links with Liverpool, City, Chelsea and United, Fabrizio reports. Says Liam loves football. Does not surprise me. He's... whatever happens with Semenyo, the good news is we're not going to have to wait long, because allegedly his release clause is only valid for 10 days. So if something does happen, we're going to know in like the first 3 days, you'd suspect that things are going to escalate, and then personal terms get agreed and all that and all those shenanigans. So that's a good thing. We don't have to dick around waiting until the end of January to decide that. If that is to be believed, of course, and that's what's being reported, we at least know relatively early on, which is good. Scott Carson's shirt sales covered us for 2 major signings, says Cheesecake. Brilliant. Your question made it into the Ask Nobbins as well, Cheesecake. There's an Ask Nobbins member-only video going out tomorrow, so make sure to join the channel for that if you want that extra content, where I answer literally every single question that was put in that post. There were 60 comments, so it's about a 50-minute video. There's one. There was a Donnarumma question, which of course I spend a lot of time on. I'm sure I'll ruffle some feathers there. But yes, every single question was addressed in the extended version, and like 5 or 6 were addressed in the standalone regular uploads. Non-EU will always charge you extra customs fee if you purchase from the City shop. Yes, it's tricky following Brexit. I just bought a Shirky shirt from the City shop and got hit with $100 of import fees. Oh my word. That's insane. Is there not like a... I don't know if there are City stores in other countries. Is there a City store in the US? I don't know. That seems extortionate though. 100 imports, crazy. I mean, Brexit means Brexit. No, well, it's Olive. It was because there were 60 questions, and I wanted to answer all of them. Some were like, you know, and took 10 seconds to answer. Some took like 15 minutes to answer. So it's tricky. It's a tricky one. Sub says, I don't want the signing to go through. Why is that, Sub? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? I'm going to look over here if that's all right, just because that is hurting my eyes to do that. Fenway, that's incredibly generous. Why didn't my fucking alert work? That's so annoying. Thank you so much, Fenway. That's so generous. We have big W's for Fenway. That's a massive super chat. Thank you so much, matey. I'm so sorry I can't put it on the screen. Happy Christmas, mate. Thank you for a great year of streams, chats, and videos. Big up to you and all the family, especially LNobbins. Here's to the quadruple in 2026. Cheers. Thank you so much, Fenway, for that. Love that from you, matey. Big W's. Big W's for a very generous act. What a cutie. He gets a little love hearts by me as well. And a little like. I didn't realise I can do that. I don't normally look at this chat. I've liked your super chat. I've given it a little heart as well. Can I pin it? Is that something I can do? Why can't I pin it? Put your Zoom timeout, crazy. Oh, big up to you, mate. Thank you so much. I believe there is in New York. It's not a full storefront, though. Ah, okay. Fairs. I don't know enough about it. TBH. Trump's Shirky tariffs, yeah. Yeah, big up to Fenway, much love. Absolute queen. Lord, yeah, that is what the L stands for. It does stand for Lord. The media doesn't cook Liverpool enough for spending 400 mil and being trash. I'm sure it will click at some point for them, but maybe next season they might have to go big again in the transfer window, which is a little bit mad, but it's going to potentially be a thing. They're sort of going through a City last season phase, aren't they? Maybe they'll hit January, who knows? I still think they'll get top 4, though, in all honesty. I still think they'll be up there. I still think that'll be a thing. Oh, sorry, excuse me. My throat is quite mucusy right now. I know you guys wanted to hear that. Hello to you, Potato. How you doing? Naveen says, I don't celebrate Christmas because of my religion, but I still have fun and chill with the fam. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be religious to celebrate Christmas or just have fun on the 25th of December. It's just a good vibes day, you know? It can just be a good vibes day. Did I make a feature in the vid? Says Nunez. I don't think you asked a question, did you? If you did, then you featured. If you didn't, then no. Vert's finally got his breakthrough. Yeah, but it wasn't against 11 men. So, it doesn't count. I'm still waiting for a goal contribution in the Premier League against a team with 11 players on the pitch. And only then does it count. Only then does it count, yeah? Failing that, you're still stinky. You're still a stinky little boy. Or girl. You know what I mean? Goal and assist versus 10-man Spurs, irrelevant. Yeah, irrelevant. That's the equivalent of stat padding, as far as I'm concerned, yeah? Versus 0074 against 11 men not in Germany this season, exactly. I did see the goal, yeah, Potato. I did a little tweet about it. Not watched the game, and I'm not going to lie, I don't think I'll be watching any AFCON, in all honesty. But I would like watch highlights of our players doing well, so Ait Nouri and Marmoush. What are their groups like, actually? Are they in groups that are favourable? Let me have a little look. I'd like them both to go quite far and get some minutes and hopefully put in some good performances and get some confidence so they can come back to City and be fully sharp. Yeah, Marmoush in front of goal is insane. The Congo beating Democratic Republic of Congo, sorry, beating Benin. Let's have a look at the groups. So Morocco should top that group. They've got Zambia, Mali, and Comoros. Oh, South Africa and Egypt in the same group. So yeah, I'd expect them to finish over Zimbabwe and Angola. Egypt should be topping that group, I think. Nigeria, Tunisia, Algeria are in a group with Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan. Yeah, Algeria should be topping that group quite comfortably, in all honesty. So Algeria should top, Egypt first or second. Cool. Cool. There we go. Big up to Algeria and Egypt. Let's hope they can do the business. Agent Marmouche to bring Salah home, chill. He will come good, Moffat. Yeah. It's just fun now to, say that he's thinking up the gaff, but of course he is a very good player. Marmouche to explode second half of the season, I hope so. The group should be easy. Yes, definitely they should. Marmouche goal came from playing as a left wing, unfortunately for us. Never has the space to do that. Yeah, and we do have to consider the level of the opposition as well. Like, there was a lot of space for him against Zimbabwe, and let's be honest, they're not that good at the football. See Chelsea are interested in Semenyo. Everyone should be, probably. Saul will come to City for a Kit Kat Chunky. Can we talk about this Nunes DM arc? I don't think we're going to see Nunes out and out midfield starting games, in all honesty. I do like the utilisation he's doing right now, though, where he can give Nico some time off. Over the course of a season, that might save him 5 games, let's say. And that could be the difference between burning out and not, which is big. He's already saved him a half of football, 50 minutes, across those Brentford and West Ham games. Be amazed if he started in midfield, especially given the fact that we have no right back if Nunes does play in midfield. But it's good to know that it's a potential option. So big up to him. Big up to Nunes for that. Because, yeah, Rodri can't come back fast enough. And if that's the difference between Nico getting injured or getting burnt out or not, then it's really big. It is. I'm very happy with Nunes' recent performances and just his performances this season. In fairness, the growth and development he's had is fantastic to see. Do we know when Rodri's back fit? I don't think we know, to be honest, mate. He was solid beast, in fairness, yeah. With our academy players, the best thing we can do is slap a buyback clause and sell them. For some of them, Nunes, yeah, definitely. Because Nunes got the greatest revival in world football. Yeah, it's. I mean, if he somehow becomes like a starter in midfield, then I guess so. Because he wasn't signed to be a right back, was he? He was signed to be a midfielder. We did panic. There's no doubt in that sense, but it's good to see that we've been able to utilize him in some manner, which is really good. What do you think about Semenyo? Don't have strong thoughts really either way. I'd be happy if we bought him. Wouldn't be unhappy if we didn't buy him. He'll improve the squad. He will force at least one player out, maybe 2. He offers something that a lot of our wide players don't currently offer. That's a positive. I think he would do well at City. But I don't think that he's this crucial piece to the puzzle. Hence, I'm not too fussed either way. Hello, Starshine. Thank you for your very nice comment on LB's channel yesterday, by the way. That was very lovely of you. Why doesn't Echeverri want to go to Girona? They speak Spanish there. Pep's brother will make sure he gets his minutes. I don't know enough about the situation. However, it seems that his agent is a bit of an idiot. And is more interested in, certainly with the Leverkusen move, is more interested in the appeal of playing in the Champions League. Now, if they had some sort of agreement where he does play a lot, because I was happy with that concept. I was like, oh, okay, they must, if they're going, his agent is obviously got his best interest in mind. He must be like a starter for Leverkusen, surely. That hasn't happened. And now there's all this thing about, oh, I want to go to River Plate. I don't know what is going on there. Seriously, so he should go to Girona. Why isn't he just going there immediately? I think it's because his agent is a bit of an idiot and he's not got the right players in his camp advising him. Because in no world should there even be a tiny chance of a move back to River Plate. What are you going to learn there? How are you going to develop back in Argentina? You aren't. He's not getting the correct advice there. He needs someone to give him a bit of a slap and go, this is in your best interest. You're going to Girona. I don't care if you like the idea of it or not. This is in your best interest. Go there. He needs to do that. I mean, I don't think he's got a future at City anyway, but if he's to have even a tiny glimmer of a future, he has to do what's in his long-term best interests, rather than just what he wants to do for vibes. Silly boy. Silly boy. Do I think Bob has a long-term future at the club? Not if we sign Semenyo. Is it safe to say Roger's time as a starter is over at City? Nah, I'm not willing to say that yet. No chance. It's been a full and chill stream. That's the vibe I'm after. Semenyo would be great. We don't have to rush Doku back and ease him back in. Yeah, I can definitely see positives to it, 100%, and there absolutely are. I'm not that passionate about the signing. If it happens, great, because I can see the positives. I hope Savio shines against Forest, or do you think he's going to start Natando? Would I keep Echeverri at City? I just don't see where he plays. In all honesty, we don't even play with like a number 10 right now, out of possession. So where's he going to play? He'd have to play out wide and then do like a Cherki, where he starts out wide and then drifts inside. But Cherki's there, and if he signs Semenyo to play on the wings, then he would technically be taking minutes away from Echeverri as well. I just don't get where he'd get any time. I think the signing of Cherki basically doomed Echeverri. Because it's not like Cherki's old either. He's 22. So there we go. In hindsight, I should have waited on the Echeverri analysis video if he ends up going back to River Plate. Nah, I think the timing of the Echeverri video was actually pretty perfect, because it had to be done to dispel, and that's the only reason why I did it, because I felt like I had to debunk a myth that was going around, because I didn't really want to do an Echeverri analysis video, but it had to be done just because of the rhetoric that was going round about him. Oh, you start him, like, get him in the starting 11 right now. I don't think you guys know what sort of player he is. He's not that good. He's fine, and he could become a great player. But he was not doing anything last year. So I felt I had to make the video to correct the narrative that was going around at that time. So I quite liked the timing, in all honesty. I was talking about Echeverri, Chan. And now, and I said in that video as well, like, if City sign an attacking midfielder, I didn't actually say Wirtz, because we may have not got Wirtz. I mean, indeed, we didn't. So I was just generic, and I said, if we get like an attacking midfielder who's creative, I don't really see where Echeverri fits in, and he's going to pass. I'll talk about Echeverri, Chan. The Hayes video, that will come, hopefully, next summer, when we get more of an idea of him as a player. There's more of a sample size, and we know, like, is he staying or is he going? And that's what I mean, Sparta, because it's all, and that's what I said in the video, isn't it? These are all hypotheticals: could, ceiling, potential, talent. There's nothing really concrete there as for what is the player right now. was desperation and certainty. It was, and that's all it was really, because that season, it was the definition of flip-flopping. It was, I think like Kevin De Bruyne started the season, did he? Maybe, and Foden was injured, perhaps. I'm probably going to get the timeline wrong, but it was like, not playing well. Get De Bruyne out of the team. Get Foden in it. Foden's in it. Get Foden out of the team. Get De Bruyne back in it. De Bruyne's back in it. Get De Bruyne out of the team. Get McAtee in it. McAtee in the team. Doesn't perform that well. Get Foden back in. And it's this endless cycle. And then it was like, throw Echeverri into that mix as well. It was just this constant loop last season. I don't think people quite got how severe the issues were. It wasn't as simple as just swap that player for that player and everything will work out fine. There wasn't really an in-house solution last season, in all honesty. Masterclass in the FA Cup final, oh my word, yeah. I thought he played fine in that final, but yeah, even then, it was fine. I like the energy he brought, but it was only fine. Extra fraud, okay, chill. Anybody put Arsenal to win the league, you man must win it to save football. Where would Naipan play? He's another player where I'm not sure he's going to have a future at City. It's just hard. You never know. You obviously never know, but it's very hard to picture obviously all of them can't make it here. Most of them won't. There's just not enough bodies. There's not enough minutes to go round. But let's talk about Reinders. I love him. The runs he makes, the passes, only if he improves his finishing, and he'll be world class. I do like Reinders a lot, yes. Reinders should be better defensively than he has been. I promise you, he was better for Milan. Now, maybe that was more to do with structure. Reinders has never been a tackler. He's always been very good at intercepting the ball, though. The dual winning does need to improve. There's no doubt about that. A lot of pitchfork and witch hunts last season, yeah. Lots of people got exposed last season, man. We stuck to our guns out here, yeah? We don't back down. We don't give in to reactive takes and discourse. We chill out here, yeah? Last season was a nightmare. Like, what do you mean we lost to United? Yeah. That was horrendous. 1-0 up in like the 85th minute, something stupid. On a real, I can't stomach Arsenal win the league. They are the favourites to win it. It's going to happen. Surely it's got to happen sooner rather than later. It just has to happen. It's been 21 years. It'll be 22 years if they don't win it this season. This is the longest period they've ever had in between titles. So it just sort of has to happen as a matter of, like, precedent, surely. So if you, like, accept that it will happen eventually, you can be at peace with yourself, yeah? Just know that, okay, you win a title, that's great, and this is the trick you can whip out now. Well done, you've matched what Leicester achieved. Now defend your title. Now defend it again. Now win the title and the Champions League. Now win more than 2 trophies in one season. Now get 100 points. You can always add these little things if you want to play the banter game. You get me? And in all seriousness, winning a title is impressive, but what is the difference between a good team and a team that goes down in history? You have to defend your title. With respect, no one really gives a shit about... Well, they do, don't they? Because the Invincibles, I guess. But I guess I don't really. Maybe that's why I don't rate those sides as highly. Maybe it's just a me thing. But if you're not defending your title, then isn't that the difference between like a great team and an elite team? Because not many teams have done that in the Premier League. Fergie's done it. Fergie's United did it, obviously. Mourinho's Chelsea did it. Pep City did it. And I think that's it. Am I missing anyone? Wenger didn't do it. Klopp didn't do it. Ancelotti didn't do it. Kenny Dalglish didn't do it. Mancini, Pellegrini, they didn't do it. It's all about defending your title, really. That's what separates the good from the elite. And your Spurs came close. Shut up. Shut up. Would I take Arteta to replace Pep? I would have done once upon a time, but not anymore. Not because he's not a wonderful manager, because he is, but just because of what's transpired since. Have we had more successful managers than any other team in the Premier League? How are we defining success, I guess, is the question. Because Chelsea have won the league with many different managers. They won it with Mourinho, and they won it with Ancelotti, and they won it with Conte, and they won it with... I feel like I'm missing someone. I feel like there's one more. He was only there for like a season, maybe. I don't know. That's more to do with Chelsea's policy, though. In fairness, that's more to do with Chelsea's policy of being insane in that period and just sacking everyone. It's dark for them, so strawberry cheesecake. Yeah, exactly. Champions League, I guess. I was just talking about Premier League, but yeah, you are absolutely right. Yeah, he also, if we're counting Champions League, then yeah, you're not wrong. And then we can add Di Matteo to that as well if we want to add the Champions League. Roberto Di Matteo as well, in fairness. Now win the treble says beyond, exactly, yeah. Arsenal fans love trash talking. It's unreal for a team that hasn't won anything. Yeah. I can't believe people are still calling Donnarumma a flop. How many 3-0s in a row? He's not a flop, definitely not. I would still argue that I need to see a lot more from him before I'm going to say that I think the signing is more positive than negative, but we're only a few months into his time at City, so I'm willing to wait on that. But based on the evidence I have, I need to see a lot more personally. Yes, and yeah, definitely Fenway, definitely. Of course, Invincibles, great record and whatnot. Not the first Invincibles in English football, by the way. The thing I always go back to on that is what's impressive isn't actually going invincible. What's impressive is going invincible and winning the title. Because you can go invincible without winning the title. It's happened in Europe. Then there was an Italian side that did it. Or was there a Portuguese side? There's like a Wikipedia page. And it's got like what their finishes were. So it happened again. I don't know how relevant some of these clubs are to you guys, but it's happened in Africa a couple of times. It happened to Egypt in the Egypt League in 81, Malawi in 2001, Ghana in 2004, 2010 in Malawi, 2012 in Congo, 2023 in Liberia, 1985 in Kuwait, 1986 in Hong Kong, 99 in Sri Lanka, 2010 in Bangladesh, 2011 in Myanmar, 2015 in Saudi Arabia. What about Europe? 1951 in Bulgaria, 1978 in Portugal, Benfica there. Went invincible, didn't win the title. There's the Italian one. So it's even happening. It's even happened in like a Big Five league. Imagine I'm naming these off the top of my head, guys. This is a Wikipedia page. Chill. In 1979, Perugia. 1986, Galatasaray in Turkey. Yugoslavia. Oh my God, there were two teams in 1999 in Yugoslavia. Partizan and Obilic. So there were two invincible teams. That's fascinating. Red Star Belgrade in 2008 didn't win the title. That's interesting. So there you go. It happened as recently as last season, 2025 in Moldova, FC Sheriff. Very interesting. There was one for Ajax. It said they also went unbeaten in the Champions League. Yeah, 1995 Ajax. That's insane. But did they go invincible in their cup as well? Were they properly invincible? So yeah, I'm not trying to downplay going invincible, obviously, but I would personally rather have the record for most wins than fewest losses. Personally. Because a winning is more important than not losing. Yeah, and Leverkusen actually went domestically invincible. None of this losing in your domestic cup nonsense. Exactly, Danny boy. That's what I'm thinking, Ari Arteta. I know we got Shirky, but who doesn't miss De Bruyne here? Absolute boy. Liberian League better than Premier League. I don't know if Palmer just looks not sharp. He's just come back from an injury, hasn't he? So he'll be fine, I'm sure. He'll be fine. Rodgers or Foden? Yeah, Foden. Bumped into Big Steve in town the other day. Yeah, Big Steve's lovely. We went unbeaten in the treble season in the Champions League competition as well. Yeah, where's my golden trophy? And I know it doesn't matter. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm having a go at Arsenal here because it's all in good fun. But whenever they say, yeah, but is your Premier League gold? Okay, with respect, the Premier League did not give Arsenal the gold trophy for going invincible. Arsenal had it commissioned and they organised it. With respect. So this idea that it's this holy grail of an achievement, again, with respect, you basically get, you know that meme where it's like Obama giving the medal to himself or Biden giving the medal to himself. With respect, you know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on here. You commissioned it yourself. I don't know how relevant that is, but by the same token, I could just commission a mini gold Champions League trophy and be like, right, well, this represents our unbeaten Champions League run. Where's your gold one? Like, they did, yeah. They lost to Middlesbrough a couple of times in the League Cup. They lost to United in the FA Cup, and they lost 3 games in the Champions League, I think, that year. Again, I'm not downplaying the achievement, but it is just funny to do. It's just funny to bring all this up. You could, Danny. Yeah, in theory, absolutely you could. That means City could have commissioned a Premier League trophy with a Roman eagle instead of the lion on it for the Centurions. I don't know if... Well, I guess you can commission whatever you want, can't you? I guess you can do whatever you want. I don't know I don't know the full ins and outs of it. I don't know if there's like copyrights surrounding the trophy. Perhaps there is, but you know, this wasn't an official. The head of the Premier League went, there you go. It's not. It doesn't count as another trophy. It's like a little cute thing. And it's nice. It's a nice touch. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to insult it, but when people try to use it as, but where's your gold one? Mate, your gold one isn't real. You bought it yourself, lad. You made it yourself. What we doing here? What we doing here? This is like, it's almost like starting your own tournament, only inviting one team, winning it, and going, where's your Nobbins Cup? Bitch, you did not invite me to the Nobbins Cup, okay? Oh dear. It does mutant form, it does, yes. We should have made a platinum Prem trophy for the Centurions, yeah, exactly. Fenway, that's exactly what it's like. Yeah, that's a much better analogy, yeah. Punch Basco wins the Nobbins Cup, that's crazy. What even would that competition be? What is the Nobbins Cup? Is it a sport? Is it a poetry contest? Like what are we doing? What are we doing here? Is it Pokemon Showdown? What's happening? Waterrun or Anderson? I do answer this question quite a lot in the Ask Nobbins video, which will be released on Christmas Day. That is scheduled. Nobbins Cup equals Fenway. What's going on? I thought we were friends, mate. You could talk the most shit. Well, I'm winning that by default. Oh, a Lego competition. That's good. You know, my bloody Jabba sail barge still hasn't arrived. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. It's because it was on, because it's a set that's never been on sale before, so everyone immediately bought it, like at midnight, and it's on back order. Let me show you what it looks like, though. I've not been scammed. It's official Lego. Chill, chill, chill. Look at that, lads. Look at it. That is so cool. The minifigs look really cool. It's got a massive Jabba the Hutt. It's got slave layering if you're into that sort of thing. And it's massive. It just looks massive. Nearly 4,000 pieces is obscene. So that's going to be a beautiful build for me to do. That's a little Christmas present to myself. Is Anderson a ginger? I don't know. City should commission an English First Division trophy replica every time they win a title and say, "Look, we have history." You know what? I much preferred the the current championship trophy, i.e. the old First Division trophy. I think that's a beautiful trophy. I think the Premier League one is fine. It's nice. It's clearly very modern. The old First Division one, though, it looks so gorgeous. I actually prefer that. Would you ever do an online FM26 game? Yeah, definitely. After we've done Cork, the plan is to do an online save. 100%. It is massive, yeah. It is, yes, Musty, yeah. And it pairs with the Sarlacc pit. Lego scalpers are annoying. Oh, I hate them, man. I hate them. Yeah, that's the thing, because on Lego it says you can buy up to 5. Why is it... No, why isn't it you can buy 1? Why does anyone need more than 1 sail barge? Answer, you don't. Unless you're reselling and hoarding for... You know, for it to retire, and then you can sell it for 50% or 100% above value. I bought the Sarlacc pit a year ago with the Desert Skiff, with the understanding that when it goes on sale, I'll do that. What if you're gifting it? You don't need 5. You don't need 5. And if you're gifting it, then you can faff around and you can make 2 accounts. You can buy one and then buy another. That's the thing. I don't like anything to stop scalpers. I hate them. I hate them. What do they provide? They're just leeches. I hate scalpers, man. In any facet, whether it's video games or Lego or tickets. You're not offering a service. You're literally just charging a premium for your leeching. Pissing me off. The best looking trophy, I don't know. It might be the old First Division trophy. It's definitely up there. It is definitely up there. I quite like, is it the Spanish... Is it the Spanish League title was quite a nice trophy. I can't remember what Serie A looks like, though. The German one's shit. That's just the Community Shield, isn't it? Oh, I think it's the DFB Pokal. That's a nice cup. That is a nice cup. I do only have Lego Star Wars, yeah. I used to have lots of Lego Knights and that sort of thing. I still own them. They're just in storage. Yeah, scalpers are pricks. If you're a scalper, you're not offering anything to society. Little leech. Premier League trophy is iconic. I think the First Division trophy is top 5 favourites. It's beautiful, isn't it? The World Cup is your favourite. Yeah, the World Cup is just like I like how relatively unassuming it is. It's not massive, is it? Because you think for like the biggest trophy in the world, if it wanted to be, big up to you, Herbal, by the way, Merry Christmas to you, just saw your message. If it wanted to be, it could be incredibly ostentatious and massive and ridiculous. Like, I think the Stanley Cup, which is like a hockey trophy, that is like, it's like 3 times the height of the Copa America one, which I think is already too big. So I like the fact it's relatively unassuming and it's just like you can hold it like that. I quite like that. You can just tell it's got so... I mean, actually, I might prefer the original World Cup trophy. Don't know if that's controversial. The old Jules Rimet trophy. I actually think I prefer that. May I know when you started as a City fan? What's your first memory? Well, I started as a City fan when I was born. But my first memory... annoyingly, well, I guess it makes sense because I was so young. I remember being at Main Roads. I think I was on the stand opposite the Kipax. And I remember being so small that I had to, hey, this still happens to me every week at the Etihad, I had to stand on the chairs in order to see what was going on. So I had to stand on the seat. And I was with my nana. It was just me and her, I'm pretty sure. And I think, because I feel like, I might be misremembering, I feel like had a goal been scored, because I'm pretty sure it was a draw, because I remember us not being upset or us not being like happy at the same time. And I feel like if a City goal was scored, that definitely would have been a visceral memory. The fact I can't really remember a goal being scored suggests to me that it was 0-0. I think it was against West Brom. But I don't know. I don't know who the opponent was. I think it was a Midland side, though. And yeah, I've no idea what year that was. I don't know what year. It would have been the 90s. I don't know when though. I don't think we were in the. Were we in the first division? I can't remember. I don't know. But that's my first memory of. That's my first memory of City. And LNobbins can't remember, unfortunately, Fenaway. And indeed, I can't either. I'm pretty sure that's my first one, though. Yeah. But basically, since I was born, my family have been City fans for the past few generations. My mum used to have a season ticket, but she used to go to all the away games as well. Big up to her. Like before she had me and my sister. And yeah, big up. No worries at all, Fenway. It's not a problem. The Euros trophy is great. Yeah, it's a nice trophy. Arsenal fans might say Community Shield. yeah, but by the 90s, I meant the 1890s. Yeah, it was St. Mark's Church. Or would it have been Ardwick? When did we go from Ardwick to when did we go from St. Mark's to Ardwick? Because we became Manchester City in 1894, I think it was. I can't remember when we were Ardwick and St. Mark's. So yeah, it was the 1890s. That's when Nobbins went to his first City game. Oh gosh. Yeah, cool. Right. Is my mum the main City fan? It would have been my mum / Nana. I think that my mum got things kicked off in the family, and then my Nana got involved as well, I think, or was it the other way around? I can't remember, but either way, they were all like started to properly be fans in like the 60s, that sort of range of time, I believe. Yeah, exactly. St. Mark's versus Newton Heath. I was there. Oh, I was the one that caused the fire at City's old stadium before Main Road, you know? Can't remember what that was called, actually. But it got burned down because of a fire. That was me, by mistake. That was me arsing around. You saw me in the archives, yeah. Oh, God. In 87, it was Ardwick, and then 84, it became Man City. Okay, there we go. So it wasn't St. Mark's. So that was before my time. Guys, we've been live for just over 90 minutes, and I need to get ready to shoot off to go meet my little friends. Yes, guys, I do have friends, contrary to what you think, yes? They're not all paid actors. Only a few of them are. Only a few of them are paid actors. So this will be the last stream before Christmas. I will repeat. I've got you covered for the Christmas period. Tomorrow, there is a member-only video. Ask Nobbins extended cut. All 60 questions are being answered. It's 55 minutes long. It's available to all members. I did the Gahey analysis video, which was just for members of a certain tier. Go watch that if you want to. So tomorrow that's coming out. If you're not a member, don't worry, because on Christmas Day you're going to get an Ask Nobbins as well, a regular Ask Nobbins. There's going to be some Christmas questions, including what's a Christmas food I hate, what Christmas films do I like to watch at Christmas, is Die Hard a Christmas film, and of course there's a question about Donnarumma, and there's a question about Anderson versus Wharton, and many other things as well. Boxing Day, another video is coming out, the Nottingham Forest Tactical Preview, because we play Forest on the 27th, and then we'll be back to streaming on the 27th of December for the Forest Watchalong. We'll see. So I've got you covered for all the content, all of the time. Don't you worry, I did a lot of recording yesterday. My voice nearly died, but we got there in the end. Let me just do these final few comments before I go. Don't know if you remember, we were linked to both Ekatike and Marmouche. I really don't remember the Ekatike one. Trying to climb up the stage to get a better view, accidentally knocked over a candle, started the fire, little Nobbins origin story. Absolutely, yeah. Your Lego figures aren't you, mates? They're real to me. I'd have not pre-recorded, and no, I didn't, Musty, funnily enough. But yeah, guys, I won't see you until after Christmas. You'll see me on the content, but Merry Christmas. Have a beautiful time whether you celebrate it or not. And I will see you live again on the 27th for the Nottingham Forest Watchalong. So make sure to join me for that. We'll start around 12 because it's going to be a heavy night because it's Boxing Day. So give me a bit of a lie-in. We'll start on 12 for the 12:30 kickoff. Merry Christmas. Have a beautiful time, whether you celebrate it or not. Happy holidays if you prefer that. And I will catch you on Thursday for the Forest Watchalong. I'm going to go see my friends. They're not going to bully me like you guys do. They are. They absolutely are. Goodbye, guys. Merry Christmas.